most artists don't want you to know what I'm about to tell you. Hi, I'm Ashley. Welcome to my channel, and in today's video we're going to be talking about how to find your unique style as an artist. So what a lot of YouTube artists never say about style is there's actually a way for you to intentionally construct it. So you are fully capable of manufacturing your own style, and it is a little bit easier than you think it's going to be. So there is a formula to it as well, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with you in this video today. The cool thing about having your own style too is, everything that you like and everything that you are drawn to can be your own style, and all it needs is really just you paying a little bit closer attention to what you're deciding to draw, and just also noticing when you like things or when you're specifically paying attention to certain things that you wouldn't have otherwise, things like that. So something that I do notice though amongst a lot of the people I work with is sometimes, or a lot of the time actually, your art that you create is a lot different than what you find visually appealing. So the first step that I want you to consider is actually collecting information and collecting inspiration as well. So what I mean by that is build out a Pinterest board, and you're going to start collecting all of these pieces that you find interesting or just visually appealing, or if you're just drawn to it at all, jot it down, add it to the board. So even though it might be different art than you would typically go and create, still add it anyways, because you never really know how creating something new can change your attitude about creating in general. But obviously I do want you to be picking things that you feel like you might draw as well, mainly because it is important for you to be staying motivated while you are creating. Otherwise it can start feeling like a chore, which we don't want that. So I encourage you, again, to create this Pinterest board, or you can even go the extra mile. Feel free to go to your local museum, walk around downtown or wherever you live, even if it's in the suburbs or really wherever. If there's murals around you, or if there's art everywhere. So I just encourage you just to keep an eye out if you are going to go looking for it. Otherwise the internet is a great place to start. So for example, here are some pieces that I recently collected and a Pinterest board that I'm working off of. So the first thing that I notice is I gravitate towards realism a lot. That is the art that I like to create. So I like making something look lifelike. That's something I've learned about myself, and I'm always challenging myself to essentially try to make my piece look as much like a realistic piece or a realistic person or thing as I can. Step number 2 is going to be creating connections with all of these things. So what are some of these similarities? Are there any themes? Is there a overall mood? Those types of things. You want to try to see if you're gravitating to anything very specific, and if not, if it's kind of all over the place, there's definitely going to be some similarities. I promise you, if you look hard enough, you will find some of those things, and feel free to jot them down and just write them down so they stick in your head. But yeah, just think about what draws you to these art pieces, essentially. So now that you've got all these characteristics down and you've gotten all these connections in place that you've written down, now I want you to start thinking about, how would I teach somebody how to draw like this? If you were to create a cheat sheet for them, or a curriculum, even if you wanted to really build it out, or really anything that would break things down digestibly for somebody that is very new to creating anything, or even finding similarities in visual pieces like art. And yeah, just start working backwards, essentially. So you would want to start with the fundamentals, of course. So even just starting from the very bare bones of how, for example, let's say you have a painting, and obviously a lot of artists too, they'll start with drawing out some of the figures in their painting, especially if it's mixed with realism, or you know, if mixed with realism and abstract. You don't really know what you're gonna pull until you see it, but try to peel it back and try to figure out where would the starting point be and what would be the next step after that, and then that, and then that, and just take it apart. So you never want to copy another artist. I find that it is so amazing for you to be using other artists as inspiration. And even if you change up a piece, like in terms of the colors and some of the other things used, I support that. I think that's great, because it is something that you still created. You're not tracing over something and completely copying absolutely everything. But let them influence you. That's why we enjoy art anyways. We want to feel something when we create, and I think that's important. I think it's really important. But I do want to emphasize as well how important it is not to be a complete copycat, because you don't want to steal somebody else's piece of art. You do want to add your own unique touch to it, but I believe that anybody that does use other people's art as inspiration, that they will automatically do that anyways. I also wanted to let you guys know that I did create a freebie for today as well. So it is a guide for you to follow when trying to develop your own art style. So you can download that in the description below. And hopefully this was helpful. I wanted to create this just to help anybody that was needing some guidance when it came to creating some of their art and trying to find a style. I get this question a lot. So let me know if you guys have any questions or any insights or opinions on this at all, or any tips that have helped you in the past too. Please leave those in the comment section, and please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more digital art content like this. I will see you here next week. Bye.